And just bear with me on this, man. But just talk to me, just like in the just talk to me about sort of like first impressions with DC and that city and what it means to you and what do you take from it? Where does it sit in your heart?
They raised me, raised me from an immature kid to an immature man. Right. When I got there, I was on vacation. Costa Rica. It was the first vacation I had. I had to borrow money from Eric Dampier, my teammate, because I spent all my money my first year. So I was on a budget for those 2 years because I went into the second round, gave my dad lump sum, and then I bought me a car and end up not going where I thought. And so I didn't have any money for 2 years, right? So I had to borrow money for a vacation because I knew I was going to get paid big money. So when I got back, I heard that Jordan's not going to be on the Wizards, and they were coming after me. Mm-hmm. And I remember we went there, talked to Abe. First question my dad, because my dad's a Jordan fan. So he was like, "So why isn't Jordan here?" Because he wanted to go there so he can meet Jordan again for third time. Because I did a Jordan camp, so I had to. That was the only thing he forced me to do.
Yeah.
Jordan camp, so he can meet Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. So he can come pick me up and drop me off, and he get to see Jordan and all. Yeah, there's some pops.
Yeah.
So when we scheduled for when he wanted the Wizards, is because of MJ. So the first thing he asked Mr. Poland was like, "Why isn't MJ here?" And Mr. Poland told him, and then told him the story, and then my dad realized. He picked the love of basketball and his team and what his team thought over legacy, over Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan, the way he was talking to some of the guys, those young guys didn't like it, and the owner stood up for them. Like, we don't want him here. Come on, I know he's Michael Jordan, but we'll feel better if he's not our owner. You know what I mean? We're scared of him as a player. Imagine if he's an owner, and then. He was like, okay, I understand. So the fact that he did that for the team, my dad was like, this is a good man.
He respected that in Abe Poland.
Yeah. Like the man, like he's a good man.
Yeah.
Right. This has nothing to do with, like, he chose men over money.
Yeah.
Right. Because having Jordan as the owner and all that, of course your team go up, and he's like.
What was it? I mean, like, I've heard the stories of like Kwame and stuff like that, but like, what do you think that was with Jordan in DC? Like, how has it been explained to you? Like, what went down?
It was the best basketball player that ever lived. It was a six-time champ who never went to a game 7. Right? It was the Michael Jordan we talk about. You can't turn that off. Mm-hmm. Right. You can't turn that competitiveness off. Like, right. His competitive does not have an age limit on it.
Right.
Right. So when you put that type of, you don't call it a lion or it's a liger inside of this cage. He only knows to eat. He's not here to fucking babysit.
Yeah.
So the fact that this was a time where babysitting was entering the NBA, right? You're talking about 2001, where we're talking about the era of high school kids coming in at a large amount. I mean, for the most part, I was a second rounder and I'm coming in at 19.
Yeah.
The oldest player was Shane Battier in the lottery. Other than that, it was a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
So it was the age of babysitting, and you're telling Michael Jordan, the hunter, to be a babysitter to a young group. He can only be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? So that type of mindset came across horrible to these young kids.
How does that manifest? I mean, just because there's just zero tolerance for weakness, because there's no, like how does that manifest? I mean, there's got to be some grown men in that locker room, right? There's nobody that's like, yo, let's follow that.
Still Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? It's no different. Michael Jordan in 2001 was Kobe Bryant in his last couple years, where Kobe can't turn off of, he he can't accept we're rebuilding. What the fuck is like?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some better players around here. Who were these guys?
Yeah.
Take off my, when you hear them stories of that group, man, y'all, this is what y'all going on. Take off my shoes. Y'all not allowed to wear my shoes. He can't turn off the passion.
Yeah.
You can't turn off of, I've built my name off of winning, and you put me in a situation of non-winning. Those guys, to him, he doesn't respect it. Like, and the people Kobe didn't respect was this. If he called you at 3 a.m, which was a test, hey, what are you doing? I'm asleep. Well, I'm about to work out. Come to the gym. If you don't come to that gym, he lost respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't give a fuck if you sleep. He don't give a fuck if you're drunk.
Yeah.
Come to the gym. Work out. Be tired, but work out. He respects you as a player because he does it. He's doing it. The same with Jordan. So he couldn't turn it off. So that was what those young guys, it was a young team. It wasn't an older team. You know, for the most part, those guys was 18, 19, 20, 21. Most of the guys was under 24.
Yeah.
They were scared of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So you can't fault MJ for not turning off MJ.
Right.
Right? You know, you heard about when he got to Charlotte, he's playing the guys one-on-one still because he's MJ. Right? So when I after I had the conversation with him and we went and talked to all these other teams, and my dad was like, he will be a father to you more than anything. Right? He doesn't look at you like a product. He look at you like a human. And there, you can rarely find people in power to look at you like a human and not a product. That, you can't buy that. Right? So, you know, at that time they had like 53 million. He said, you know, and there was people at, you know, 55, there were someone at 72. And we were trying to, and I'm like, how much is him as a man worth?
Yeah. What's the price on that?
And he said, there's no price. And I said, okay, if you were me, what would you do? And I said, there's 72 million on the table and they have 53 right now. He said, I'm taking the 53. He said, because when it comes to negotiation time, I'm a human, not a number. Right? He's going to look at me for the friendship we have. And my friendship is going to get me the extra millions that a number cruncher won't give me. So I was like, all right, okay. And then Brian Russell leaves, comes to LA. And then the salary cap goes up and they jump to 64 million. No brainer after that. Right? We was going to go there at 53 million. So the fact that they went to 64, and, you know, I did just for social, I mean, it wasn't social media back then, but said, oh, I'm flipping a coin between Clippers and, you know, DC. And I think it landed on Clippers 8 times. And I was like, I'm just going to go opposite. I was going to Washington, right? Because, you know, there was things he said. There was no franchise guy here. There's no face of the city. You can be the face of the city. I'm going to push you. Just, and his words to me was, just get me out of this Jordan era and you're my guy. Okay. So, you know, going there and embracing the culture, giving them, I think it was more of, what did I want from a superstar? And that's who I'm going to be, right? And I remember watching Dennis Rodman after he got kicked out of the game doing this, throwing his jersey out. And I'm like, man, whenever I become an NBA player and I'm a superstar, man, I'm going to give everybody my jersey. I'm going to just throw it. And that's what I ended up doing. And I became, I think just the personality became better than the player himself. And it became this whole little thing. Like, my 27 looked like 45 because of the smile and the energy and the throwing it out. And the city embraced it.
Oh, yeah.
And I embraced the city. Like, there was, like, I think, you know, the only negative thing that I had for DC wasn't me to them. In a sense of, I'm mad at them. I was more embarrassed. You know, when the gun thing happened, it was more me. I was ashamed and I was embarrassed of what happened, and like, then you guys believed in me and you guys had me here, and I let you guys down. I don't want to be seen. I don't, I zero. I don't want the legacy of zero, that jersey, to have that on it. Right. So that next year I came back with 9.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't have the 0 because I didn't want me coming back and that gun thing is tied to that number. So I said, I'll ditch the number and put 9 on it. So you buy number 9, goddammit, that's what you get.
Yeah.
You get gun toting fucker in the locker room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You won't get that with Agent Zero. Agent Zero.
Yeah.
Right. So it was, but it was beautiful. Like it was like one of the best places I ever lived.